had an intro prepared, but now I've forgotten what it is. So instead, we're just going to call Mirggles up right now. Mirggles!
Mirggles! Hello? Hello, Mirggles. You scared me for a minute there because
did I actually?
not with the sound, but I went to hit the call button and you changed your picture and I was like, who am I calling?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine.
We'll
It's fine. And
switcheroo on you.
of course, I always have to open up each call with the official turning down the guest by about 5% on the volume. Every guest, without fail, is 5% too loud. It is quite funny. Quite funny.
Hold on. Are you telling me that everyone just listened to me snore at 5% too loud?
5% too loud volume. Was that you snoring? I thought you were doing like a monster impression or like a...
No, that's just what I sound like when I sleep.
No, that's wild. That's wild. I love it. Well, first of all, thank you so much for not being asleep at 2:30 in the morning your time.
Of course.
I super appreciate it. Like I said in the intro, I invited you just thinking that you were going to say, no, it's too late. And that would have been completely fine. But you went above and beyond. You were just like, yes, I will do this. And oh
my God, are you kidding? I'm honored that you would want to spend any time with me.
No, I want to spend
lonely.
I'm so lonely. Her bedtime is 4 a.m. Yes. So if you're watching this for the first time or have never heard of Mirggles because you found this video, found this stream, whatever, somewhere on the internet, Mirggles, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? Although I'm 100% sure everyone knows who you are.
Oh, God. What bits?
What bits? All the bits.
All the bits. Hi, I'm Mirggles. I am a person. I do some stuff. Some of the stuff that I do includes animating. I'm an animator and a storyboard artist by trade, and I stream on Twitch. I'm making a film live on Twitch, an animated film, for that matter. And I also do some like tabletop stuff here and there. So that's about all the things.
She says right now. Some, as if she's not in 3 shows? 4?
Well, Witchcraft and Wizardry is like my longest running one. I'm like a permanent person on that, which is super cool. And then I've also done A State of Affairs, Leech, Stygian Gate, Last Transmission, and Midsummer Mysteries, and the A State of Affairs Christmas special. There you
go. 7. Yeah. Not all of them are running at the same time. That'd be wild, but 7. Jeez.
Listen, I'm just waiting for them to figure out that I suck. So I'll take as much under my belt before they realize.
No, they'll never realize because you don't. I almost lost that there. I was like, they'll never realize you suck. What are you crazy?
They never will.
They'll never know. Awesome. Well, so for anyone who's watching this for the very first time and is unaware of what this segment even is, this is a Friday where I phone a friend and we ask really silly icebreakers. I have found a website that has 101 icebreakers for children. And I thought this was perfect for all my friends and I, because we're all children, really. Yes. And then after that, we jump into would you rather questions. So I have a generator that I'll generate 5 to 10 at a time. And we'll pick some, chat will pick some. It'll be a good time. Sometimes we break the generator, which is always a good time. I always love it. It just gives you half of it. And it's just like, yeah, I would rather that. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So here is the deal. Let me pull up my cheat sheet here. Where'd it go? Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Here it is. Boom. So we have 5 categories, Mirggles. You're gonna pick the first category, and chat's gonna pick a number through a range that I give them. The categories are music, media, and entertainment, sports ball, edumacation and goals, favorites, or random.
Media.
We'll do the media one.
Yes.
Media. Okay. Chat 1 through 22. You decide our fate. 7. Cap's at the ready for this one. This is a good one.
Prepared.
I'm glad you have to answer this one first because it's a big question. What is your favorite movie?
Oh God.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
Oh God.
Mhm.
I don't know if I have an answer for this.
Well,
See, okay, here's the issue.
Okay.
I love so many movies. In
I'm the
fact, I
same
love
way.
so many movies that I decided I wanted to do that for my life.
Yeah.
So, I think because of that reason, the first movie that made me realize that I kind of wanted to do that for my life was The Lion King.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And yeah, and I think The Lion King. There are definitely others on my list that are as better or cooler or something like that. But The Lion King was kind of a big deal to me, and I wouldn't be doing what I do for a living today if it weren't for it. So I'm going to choose that one. What about you?
Can you imagine? Just pause real quick as I stall as I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I had a friend, I'd be like, "What's your favorite movie?" And then you were like, "Lion King," and I was like, "Well, that's a shit movie. Why'd you pick that one?" Like,
You should have. No,
it's not though. It's not. It's genuinely. If someone did that, like if Cap came on and was like, "I like this movie," and I didn't like it, I'd probably be like, "It's not a good movie, man. I don't know why you like." If Cap
I gotta
came
be honest,
on,
I would too.
if he said like Man of Steel, I'd be like, "Get out of here. Get out of here."
Man of Steel. Yeah, you know what's up because you just activated my trap card. You have done your research, sir, because you know that Man of Steel is my most hated film of all time.
It's so bad. I'll say this about it. I hate it as a Superman movie. If you label it something different, it's fine. It's
No,
not even.
It's a horrifically crafted film. Everything about it is it's a travesty. It's actually, in my opinion, it is a perfect guide of like how every level can fail and still that film can be released and people can still pay money and watch it and not notice that every level failed. Yeah. So sorry, Cap.
Sorry, Cap. It's official. What I'll say about this, it's Man of Steel. I saw it in theaters. I was like, that wasn't Superman. And then I saw, like years later, I saw the latest Mission Impossible movie, which had Henry Cavill in it. And he was a better Superman in the Mission Impossible movie, where he was the bad guy. Spoilers. Where he ended up being not a nice guy than actually being a hero. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to totally derail this entire thing right now, and I'm already embarrassed with myself. But here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The film is so poorly directed and edited that even if the actors could literally have been Meryl Streep and Daniel Day-Lewis, and the film would have still been awful, and you would have still been like, who cast this? Why are they saying that? Why is this line this way? Why are they over here? How did that happen? Why are we talking about this? How did we get here? Why do they? What am I supposed to care? Everything about it is hysterical.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, Cap.
Sorry, Cap. Not a good movie. Period. For me, it was like fine, but not as a Superman movie. Like, but granted, when I'm watching like superhero movies in general, I kind of turn off part of my brain that's like really nitpicky about things, and I'm there for entertainment and authenticity to the spirit of the character is ultimately where I lie. And that movie didn't really do either of them. It was very, very
It's not.
weird.
It's definitely not Superman.
Yeah.
At all. So yeah.
Cap says, anyway, listen to Random Movie Club so you can learn something. I did, Cap, and I was screaming at the radio the entire time that I was the radio. What am I, in 1950s? I was driving my car, listening to the radio.
We're gonna talk about Man of Steel.
But I was yelling at Cap. I was like, you're so wrong on so many levels. And the fact that Rob agrees with me on that really shows you. And now Mirggles shows you who was really right in this debate here. For me, now that we've stalled long enough, favorite movie, it's actually a more recent one. I kind of define my favorite movie as one that I can watch repeatedly, never get sick of, learn something new about, and appreciate it in a new light after every viewing. That's kind of like where my angle is. And for me right now, it's the Spider-Verse movie right now.
Oh God, yes.
I love that movie. It's so good.
A masterpiece, yeah.
sometimes when I'm in my YouTube hole, I get myself out of it and then back into it by looking up the final scene where Miles dons like the official Spider-Man, like his Spider-Man costume, and he's like web slinging around. You have that triumphant music in the background, and he's just like taking that leap of faith. And I'm just like, this is just beautiful. It's amazing.
Oh my God. Can I animation geek out with you for a second about that?
Absolutely. Go for it.
So first of all, Into the Spider-Verse is just genuinely just a masterpiece of modern animated filmmaking, basically on every level. But it was directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. And Phil Lord and Chris Miller have been in the animation world doing animation-y things for a very long time. But I know them primarily as the creators of this show called Clone High. And I don't know if you've ever seen Clone High.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. It's one of those few. It was an MTV show at first, right? MTV animation? Or did I get that wrong?
Yeah.
That's one of the few animations that MTV put out that I never got to see, and I don't know why.
Yeah. So Clone High is one of my favorite animated shows of all time, and it is absolutely brilliant. And it is actually coming back. I think they just announced it like today or the other day that it's coming back, and I will lose my mind. It's just that show is a masterclass in like animated comedy TV, and they went on to do like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and Lego Movie, and now Spider-Verse, and just like as far as animation goes, they're just killer. Unbelievably.
They have that new one too on Netflix. Something versus the Machines. I can't remember it now.
Michelle versus the Machine.
The Mitchells versus the Machine. Yeah. So here's Here's why I think when I said MTV, you were like, I don't know. It's because I think in Canada, it wasn't on MTV. It was on something else. And that's probably it. Nelvana Enterprises is what Clone High says. So for me, it was on MTV, but for you, it might have been somewhere else.
Oh, Nelvana. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. But sorry. But yes, they every time I watch one of their movies, it's just like I'm in awe of the animation because they find some way to make it different than what's going on out there. For Lego Movie, they actually like these Lego pieces. They kept like the rules of Lego pieces intact with how they move, which was like brilliant, subtle, and it seems like common sense. But there's like a lot of like Lego Ninjago movies and stuff out there that don't necessarily do that.
That's also it's so incredibly difficult. Like, I don't think people, I don't think that most people have an understanding of how difficult it is to do stylized movement, and how you have to basically have your entire team of animators animating with these very new specific variables across the board. It's a totally different style, and like motion style is obviously very different than visual style in terms of like a character design. The way something moves, it's so nuanced and so technical that like it's just astounding to me. Of course, they have certain things like they have certain like software additives and stuff, and they probably have programmers who are helping to build out like the specific timing and spacing and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just like so incredible. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you knew about this, but when they released the Miles Morales Spider-Man game for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, they added the Spider-Verse costume as a bonus one you can get, and they have an effect on there that you could they animated on the 3s, I think, for Spider-Verse is what I remember. So like they have an effect that you can actually have Miles like look like that, like in the movie, from the movie, which is really cool.
That's insane.
It's like
that's so cool.
The processing power, I feel like, must be intense for that. Like, oh yeah, or maybe it's easier. I don't know. Never thought about that.
Yeah, well, less frames. Less frames is obviously to some extent going to be less for something to think about.
Yeah, but like, so like you have to tell it in this world where it's already rendering all these frames at the same time that it has to.
Yeah, that's true.
Character. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. I don't know.
I don't think you are thinking too much about it because it's someone's job to think about that to all of that extent, right?
That's absolutely fair. Absolutely. Aaron, what's up? I'm just saying that very casually, like I've ever talked to Aaron before in my life. What's up, Aaron Black? How you doing?
What's up, Aaron?
So Spider-Verse for me, like not only when I first saw the trailer for it, I was like, that animation, I don't know how it's going to work, because on the smaller screen, it watching a trailer on your phone, I'm like, I don't know. But when I saw it in theaters, it just hit me in such a way. No movie gives me the feels quite like Into the Spider-Verse. And I think a lot of it too is because they have the schlubby Peter Parker, who I can relate to on every possible level, I feel like. And it came at kind of a personal time too, where we my wife and I were talking about like having a baby and stuff like that. And here you have this like Peter Parker who's out of shape, who is afraid to have a baby for many different reasons and can't quite communicate that. And for me, it just like I could not think Peter Parker could be more relatable to me at any point in life. And then this movie came out and I was like, God damn it. And then they had Jake Johnson, Nick from New Girl, voice him. And I was who is now forever my favorite Spider-Man, period. And they need to get him in a live action movie. It was just like, I could gush about this movie forever. It is my favorite. Before that, it was maybe Goofy Movie. Maybe. That one holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have chat pick the category again, 1 through 5 chat. It is music, media, and entertainment, sports, ball, education, and goals, favorites, or random. And then Mirggles is going to pick the number after that. So we'll give them a little bit of a minute. 5, random. 2 randoms right in a row. All right. Here we go. Mirggles, 1 through 18.
18.
18. Wow. Oh, this is a good one. Oreos wants to make a new grossest flavor cookie. What flavor would you pick?
For the grossest flavor.
The grossest flavor cookie. That's it. It has to be an Oreo though. So keep in mind, it has to have 2 cookies and a cream filling of some kind. It doesn't have to be cream, but a filling nonetheless. I think that's we can define as an Oreo. I think that's
yeah. I think so. My answer might be a little bit unconventional, which I love to say because there's no such thing as an unconventional answer. But I think there's 2 ways to go through this. There's the direction of things that I personally don't like the flavor of, or just generally accepted disgusting flavors. And I'm going to go with the things that I don't personally like. And I 100% an licorice Oreo, like European, like hardcore licorice Oreo.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Please do not ever do that.
No.
Yeah, no.
You mean like
Oreo.
like the black licorice?
Yeah, like black licorice.
Okay.
Like yeah.
But like, so keep in mind, you can make this grosser if you want.
Because
you could make the cookie part the black licorice, and then you still have a cream filling to play with.
Oh, now, that's right.
Phrasing, I understand, but yes, I stand by my sentence.
Okay.
Yes.
Licorice.
Yes.
For the cookie. Mayonnaise for the cream filling.
Oh! I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Hold on.
Yeah, see, it's not as if I don't love like I can, party with mayonnaise, but the combination of licorice and mayonnaise sounds horrific.
Yes. I don't think I'm going to get grosser than I hate that kind of licorice. Like Twizzlers, like you got your red licorice, I'm good for. You got like the cherry Poland peel, I'm good for that. But like for whatever reason, that just like it tastes like menthol-y to me for some reason. That like black licorice, like blah. Never.
It's awful.
I haven't tried it in like 5 years though, but maybe I should. I'll
tell you, it's the standard here. And like if you leave North America, if you leave the United States and or Canada, I mean, Canada, I think has enough import from like England to kind of balance that out because England is also kind of into licorice. Mm-hmm. So I grew up with my grandma like eating black licorice, but for the most part, my understanding of licorice was always red Twizzlers. And then obviously like I grew up and figured out that there was black licorice, but I didn't realize that black licorice was like was actually licorice. Like Twizzlers is just candy, and then licorice is licorice root, and it's like a whole thing, and it all tastes awful.
Yeah. I had red vines for the first time like a year or 2 ago. I did not like red vines. I'm a Twizzler guy. Yeah.
I've never had red vines.
I saw like, was it a New Girl episode? It was something where they were just like having this argument where like, no, we eat red vines here. No, we eat Twizzlers. And I was like, I've always passed it, never had it. I got it, regretted it. Should have just gotten Twizzlers, but now I know.
Dang.
The worst grossest flavor cookie.
Yes, hit me.
For me.
Hit me.
I'm going to start with the filling. And for me, that's tuna. Like canned tuna. I don't like canned tuna. I don't like the smell of it.
Really?
Like, I can't do it. I haven't had it in like a couple of years, but like just the smell of it is like, ugh. Like when my cat's name is Ziggy. And whenever it's Ziggy's birthday, my wife likes to give her a can of tuna. And sometimes I have to give her the can of tuna. And it's like, I need like a nuclear resistant outfit. Like the whole like 9 yards, the headpiece, everything. Because I can do many things. I can change a diaper, no problem. I just cannot stand the smell of tuna. And I don't know why. So I'm going to say tuna filling. And then for the cookie itself, I am going to say, I was going to go fish again, but I don't want to do double fish because then you run the risk of it actually kind of going together. I'm going to tell
you right now. I'm with you on. I'm not with you on the tuna. Like I'm down for a tuna Oreo. So you got to up the stakes.
Got to up the stakes on this one. Let's say the cookie part. So it has to be crunchy. It's got to be solid. I'm going to say this is going to win it, I think. It's going to be burnt for sure. I'm looking at my room as if anything's going to help me in here. Like usually it's just like, burnt Captain America. There we go. Yeah, we got it. But that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Everyone settle down. That doesn't work. Burnt peppermint? No. Okay, here we go. The burnt pieces of like meat that like fall to the bottom of a grill after like a week and you just put them together as a cookie. I'm like cheating. I'm like Frankensteining this thing together.
Listen, Greg, I'm going to tell you something right now. I would eat that. Yeah. I'm first and foremost disgusting. Second case, I have been poor.
Yeah,
I would eat that. Yeah, 100%. I probably would.
All right. Let me take a step back then. Let me take another stab at this one. Let me see what I can get here. Let's say the filling is, I can only think of tuna. This is not going to go good. The filling itself is, what about protein powder, like a protein powder, like shake, no flavor to it, but like in like a solid form. You know what I mean? Like, so you make a protein shake, but you just like don't put any of the chocolate or good stuff in it. It's just pure protein. It's got that chalkiness to it, and it's just like a patty that sits there. So
what you're telling me is you're offering me an incredibly healthy snack that is a protein bomb that I can carry in energy for the rest of my day.
The junk food part of it, I'm going for as healthy as possible. And then I'll say the cookie itself is broccoli, condensed broccoli. I hate broccoli.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to.
You hate broccoli?
I hate broccoli. I do not understand people who like broccoli. I don't know why I don't. Well, I'll say this. I don't understand why I hate it so much. I like plenty of other vegetables. Just broccoli for me, no thanks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I kept on being forced to eat it as a child, and that's just like a negative connotation. But like I'll eat peppers, tomatoes, carrots, cucumber. Like I'll have a salad, no problem. But you put broccoli in that salad, I am throwing it right out the window. Right out the window. No,
forget the can of tuna either.
No. Oh my God. That's the other one. There you go. Healthy people. Broccoli cookies with tuna filling. There you go.
Wow. Cap doesn't like tomatoes and likes Man of Steel. Wow.
Cap.
Oh boy.
I don't want to say I'm judging you, but I'm not saying I'm judging you either.
My favorite thing about tomatoes is the goop in the center. I like to suck it out like a small brain.
That was very graphic.
Right?
It's like it's very yes. 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 Okay. Okay. We'll do one more category. What we'll do is
It's like get this person off of my stream. Why did I invite her?
No, I'm trying to like respect.
No wonder she was available.
I'm trying to respect that you have to go to bed at some point. So we gotta move this show along, because I definitely want to have you back at some point, because this is amazing. I'm gonna pick the category. Yeah. Mirggles, you're gonna pick the number. I'm gonna pick favorites. Now you need to pick a number 1 through 17.
8.
Number 8. I already know the answer to this one, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. What is the best chip flavor?
Oh, obviously.
It's gonna
salt
be
and vinegar chips.
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar chips. That's
what
not.
About you?
That's not my favorite, but I think I told you the story about my experience with salt and vinegar chips. It used to be my least favorite chip. And then one day, Mrs. Boost, when we first started living together, Mrs. Boost comes home from the grocery store and goes, I got you your favorite chips, and I got you the family size bag. And I was like, this is amazing. And I opened it up and it was salt and vinegar. And at the time, I didn't have the heart to tell her that I don't like these chips. I've never liked these chips. Like, I've never even mentioned these chips to you. How could you get to this, like, answer, this result?
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
I just kind of like was like, I guess I'll eat them. So I ate every other snack in the house at that point, and then there was just only this bag. And I ate them so much that I developed a taste for them, and now I like them.
That's amazing.
Powered my way through it, and now not an everyday chip, but like I do enjoy the occasional salt and vinegar. My favorite.
We're very glad to have you in the salt and vinegar camp.
I have a temporary card. It has to get renewed every couple months, which means I just have to have a bag of chips every couple months. But it's good to be part of the club. One day I'll get a jacket and it'll be great. I think my favorite since like day one is probably sour cream and onion. Like, I love a good sour cream and onion chip.
Yeah, I used to, but funny story. One time I was a child and I ate an entire bag of sour cream and onion chips.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if I got food poisoning from something else or if the bag of chips made me sick, but I spent the entire night barfing and I have not really been able to eat them ever since.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
That is terrible, but like it's also not unheard of, right? Like I have a brother who's much younger than me. He's 11 years younger than me, which means that when I was in high school, my other brother and I would babysit him often. We did not make wise decisions feeding a small child at all. We were pretty much like, what do you want? And he said, I want that. I'd be like, okay, cool. One such instance was he was like, I want chicken noodle soup. And I was like, cool. Me being the teenager that I was at the time and not paying attention, I made chicken noodle soup it was like a Campbell's one, without using the can of water that it needs. So it was just like salt. I had a bowl. Oh, God. I had a bowl. He had a bowl. I kept mine down just fine. He vomited his up like an hour later or something like that.
Oh, God.
And to this day, he will not touch anything that even slightly resembles chicken noodle soup.
Nope. No. Can't do it.
Yeah. The other thing was he wanted peanut butter and jelly and a glass of orange juice. If anyone out there is gonna be a parent, thinking about being a parent, or is babysitting or watching a small child, never, ever, ever in your life give them peanut butter and jelly and orange juice at the same time. It is the worst smelling vomit I have ever smelled in my life. We fed him that, and it was he kept it down for a good couple hours. We put him in his crib.
That's your Oreo, dude. Why were you coming up with charcoal and tuna? Your Oreo.
You're right.
It's peanut butter, jelly, and orange juice.
And this is why I wanted you on Phone-a-Friend Friday. This is why Mirggles is here right now, pulling these gems out. It was terrible. Did we clean it up? Kinda. Do you count throwing all of the sheets and everything in a garbage bag and throwing it next to the washing machine, cleaning it up? Or the washing machine cleaning it up?
Oh God, that's horrific.
And then calling my mother at work, who was a nurse that worked nights, and saying, "Oh, by the way, he threw up." It's in the basement. Bye. Love you. That's what we did.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
BB is adorable and sweet right now.
Yeah.
But you're going to experience some pure payback, pure karma.
Oh, I'm ready
some
for
of that.
it. I'm ready for it. But the good thing about having a brother so young is I've already made these mistakes with him.
Yeah, that's true.
He's my test subject. So I know I know some ground rules now. It's much different. So like this is kind of like a very layman's way of putting it, and it doesn't do it justice, but it's very similar mentality to when you have a family dog versus you have your own dog. It's like, the family dog, like you feed it sometimes, you give your parents some like grief about it, and you do things here or there, but you're not actually responsible for this living thing. It's very similar with my brother, where it's like, I helped, I watched him, and like I was responsible to keep him alive for like a couple hours a day, but BB is my responsibility.
Totally.
I'm helping raising her along with my wife. So like it's like you've got your trial run down, but now it's time for the big game. All right.
Totally.
So keeping in line, we got to do our would you rather questions now.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
I'm going to generate 5.
Yes.
Mirggles, I'm going to have you pick a number 1 through 5 right now for would you rather question.
4.
Number 4. Would you rather be able to hear all the positive things people say about you or all of the negative things people say about you?
Oh, dear God.
Yes, this is a heavy one for the first would you rather.
Can I just hear no one ever again? Both options are terrible. I mean, I think as uncomfortable as it is to hear nice things about you, because I hate to hear nice things about me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you.
I think honestly, hearing bad things about me would yeet me off a cliff. So I think I'm gonna go with positive things.
Yeah.
Like I would rather cringe than literally be like, everything I think is true.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Everyone agrees with me.
So
I'm gonna go with that one.
We had this question came up with someone else. I don't remember who it was. Because we've done so many of these now, I can't even keep track.
Yeah.
But it was like kind of this thing where, what if you could hear all the positive things people say about you, but you never hear anyone throughout your life? Like it's just
what?
So you hear the positive things, but like there are no positive things. Like that's where my brain goes for me. Like how much more would that suck, being like you have this option presented in front of you, A or B, and you choose A because you're like, oh, someone will say something nice at some point, but then no one ever does. Would that not be worse than just hearing negative things? It's unrealistic, especially for you, but that's where my brain went.
What do you mean, especially for me?
Especially for you, because you're so wonderful.
Oh, yeah. I think I would still rather hear nothing.
Yeah.
I would rather hear nothing. Actually, if the hearing nothing would be perfect, that would actually be a great alternative to hearing positive things.
Fair.
But fair. I think I would still rather hear nothing than hear everyone say horrible, like awful things. Because the thing is that, and you know this, and I don't know if you're the same, but the thing is that my brain tells me that constantly, all the time, no matter what, anyway.
Yeah.
And I think like I can go through my life, and a lot of my challenges is trying to combat that thinking and to like stop my brain from thinking that, so that I can like proceed in life. And I think it would be, slightly detrimental to my existence on this earth if everything around me was just confirming my worst thoughts,
Yeah. I'm very similar in that way, where like, I feel like, I don't know, like I definitely suffer from imposter syndrome a lot of the time. And it's just like something I have to deal with and know that it's not always true. But I feel like if I heard like when, so you're making your animation, which kind of like it deals with almost this question right now, right? Like of hearing like negative things, being surrounded by that, which I'm actually really glad this kind of came up. When you played PB reading those, that like hit me in such a way, because like I respect her to hell, and it was just like, what if that voice was her? And I'm just like, no, And I just like hid under the desk for a minute.
Yeah, it's also a very unique experience to have your best friend, like one of the only people in this world who like PB is holding my like bleeding heart. Like I gave it to her years and years ago and I was like, here, have this. That like PB could crush it. But she's taking very good care of it. So it was like a very strange, like obviously it was just like a very wild moment because it was like her voice saying the things. Because also she I had written a script, so I sent her a script because I was obviously not going to make her come up with that stuff.
Right.
So I sent her a script for what I wanted her to say. So it was just also really weird because the things that I wrote in the script are the things that I think and say to myself. They're my things, you know, and I'm not going to say that they're only my things, and probably maybe what people might find applicable from watching the film is that it's not only my things, but it is unique. It's a unique experience to have your closest, one of your closest loved ones kind of like say the things that are your things to you. So well, I'm glad you were there for that because it was a super powerful moment.
I'm there most days. I'm just like chugging along at work and I always have it's either you or Brad depending who's actually live. I will say this, you're the first choice. I will say that.
Oh geez, you don't gotta do that.
But I do, and I did because it's the truth. But yeah, like that experience was like, holy crap, like everything, or not everything, but some of the things that I was thinking like, oh geez. I'm with you on this. I would rather just hear positive things because even though I might not believe it, and even though I might like kind of like shrug it off and be awkward about it or whatever, or maybe accept it too quickly. That's always a fear that I have. Someone's like, hey, Greg, your podcast is great. And I'd be like, I know. And then it's like, no.
Well, there's always the thing where it's like, just say thank you. Like no matter what your reaction is or whatever, just be like, thank you. And then like move on. Because I remember there was like one thing where it was like if someone took the time, energy, had the thought, cared enough, and like actually said a compliment to you, then they're putting themselves out there to say a compliment to you, you know?
Oh, yeah. But like,
so
when your brain is like wired a certain way, and I feel like maybe you may or may not, I feel like you relate to this, but I don't want to speak for you. But like when your brain is wired a certain way to like, not get compliments or not believe compliments, it's just kind of like I don't know, it's like why. So like my joking knee-jerk reaction is always like, oh, it's all Acorn, it's all her, she's the best, she's the great. And that's kind of how I like avoid that whole situation most of the time, and then I gloat about it on stream as you've seen, but that's it's always like it's someone else, it's that, and then at some point I'll get to a point where, or anyone will get to a point where you're confident in your abilities, you're confident in the content you make, you're confident in who you are, and then you can like actually accept it instead of just being like awkward about it. I've not reached that level. I don't think I ever will.
Well, can I pose something to you then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I wonder, and I'm not saying that I think this is the case or that we should do this, but I wonder if an aspect of why it's so difficult for us is that when we don't accept a compliment and we don't validate another person's experience of us, then we're never giving our brains the option that another reality could exist, right? So how can we then bring us to a version of ourselves where we do feel confident, we do feel all that stuff, when we're the ones who are constantly sort of like putting the wall up in front of us from that other version of ourselves? It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be like, oh, I'm king shit.
Yeah, fair.
But, you know, I think recognizing that you can build a trust with yourself that if I'm going to trust this person, then they're going to tell me this, then I have to extend that trust out. And then that means that I can trust myself more. Yeah. Building a sort of self-efficacy can build confidence. By
the way, do you like my subconscious like body language right now where I'm strangling myself?
Yeah. I love the big scratch on your hand too.
Oh, that's Pippin. That's all Pippin right there today. It's not like it's only like it's not like breaking the skin at all. But I went downstairs after work. She got so excited, and she, by the way, you want to talk about anxiety? I love Pippin. She's a little ball of anxiety. She got so excited to see me, she jumped up and she won't let us cut her nails. So she just like scratched the shit out of me. Yeah, I have like so many scars and stuff from her and from Rusty, just their nails alone, where they get too excited, they jump or whatever. Yeah. So that was that's my battle wound. Sometimes like my arms, not so much anymore because they've kind of healed over for the most part. But when we first really got Pippin, my arms looked so scratched up that when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was just like felt like I was Wolverine, like after a battle. I was like, this is so cool. And my mom was like, what happened to your arms? And I was like, I fought a bad guy. Sabretooth came over.
I was in the streets.
I was in the streets.
Saving people from watching Man of Steel.
yes, absolutely. Okay, so chat numbers 1 through 5 while we move on from, I didn't mean to go so existential in that last one, but that's good.
Listen, I'm not, well, I'm sorry.
No.
But you asked me here.
yes. But that's what I love about this show. Like when I first did this show, I was like, yeah, let's just do it and kind of see what happens. I had my buddy TV's Casey on, and it went about how I expected. And I started having more and more people on, and the show kind of changes per guest, which is why I like having like different people on, is because sure, we'll talk about like something really deep like imposter syndrome in this one, or we'll be like when we had Rob on and we talk about superheroes and we try to like make the segment go as long as humanly possible. Like it's just a different vibe, which is what I love. Keep says number 3, so I'm going to generate a new list.
Okay.
And number 3 is 1, 2, 3. Would you rather never have to wait, this isn't English. Oh no, sorry, it is. I was just would you rather never have to wait at a traffic light or never have to wait for your food?
I do not drive, so food.
I'm going to say traffic light. Because if I order something and I have to hit a couple lights to get there, then I still have to wait for my food. But if I never have to wait for a light, I can time it just right. So I know I'm not going to hit any lights. I can get there exactly when the food is ready. All the time.
Okay. All right.
Kind of like that. Although, with never having to wait for your food means you order and it's there immediately from takeout, delivery. Ooh.
Yeah, see, here's the problem is that I am really bad at recognizing when I'm hungry until I'm so hungry that I feel like I'm going to die.
Oh, no.
And then there's usually a period of time where a food has been ordered or food has to now be cooked, and I am currently dying. And I will spend the next 20 minutes feeling that I am on my deathbed until the food is either arrived or finished. So that's why I think I would go with food, because it would be nice to like at my whim be like, oh, I'm starving. And then have food appear in front of me. I'm
going to change my answer because I also, when I go on long drives or if I'm driving in general, I like to listen to a podcast. So that just means more podcast.
I lost you.
You lost me? Hello? Uh-oh, did we lose Mirggles? Mirggles, come back! Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Oh, now you can hear me. That was weird. Anyways, I would rather we'll do this. So we'll do one more. Then I'm going to kick you out because you got to go to bed.
Okay.
I'm
having fun though, just so you know.
Okay. Well, if you want to go on for a little longer, we can. I'm pulling it by. Here's what we'll do.
Let's do two more.
That sounds good. Okay. So, I would rather. I'm going to change it to would rather not have to wait for food because I appreciate those down times when you're waiting at traffic lights and stuff like that. Because I get to listen to podcasts a little bit longer, maybe listen to my music. If I'm listening to a song that I'm just like vibing to, I don't want that to be cut shorter, right? I want it to kind of go on for a little bit longer. Maybe press repeat on that song.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm with you. Food. All right. We're going to do we're going to do a little bit more this time. I'm going to see if I can break it. 1 through 10, and you're going to pick it this time, Mirggles.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. 7.
Number 7, 10, 9, 8, 7. Would you rather watch a movie in a theater by yourself or with friends as the third wheel?
Oh, totally Friends as the third wheel, 100%.
Really?
I have been the third wheel so many times in my life. It does not bother me at all.
Okay.
Yeah, not at all.
But
I mean, a third wheel in like on a date?
yeah, so let's paint the scene a little bit. We're back in high school, all right?
Okay.
It's you.
Oh God, high school.
Your friend.
Who had them? Sorry, continue.
It's you, your friend, and like their new boyfriend or something, their new partner. And then it's like that first date where they don't want to like be alone with them because they don't know how it's going to go, but you're along for the ride. So it's like they feel comfortable. And then they're making out during the movie and you're just sitting there.
Honestly, you just pitched me that like my dear friend has asked me to be there for their safety and comfort. So
fair.
of course I'm going to be there. I'm realizing now I've been a third wheel a lot.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm realizing, and it honestly doesn't bother me. If that were the situation, if they just like started making out next to me, I would be like, wow, that's ridiculous. Can't wait to laugh about this later with everyone. And then I would just like slowly eat popcorn. But though I will say, watching films alone, like going to a movie theater alone, also super great and fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't knock it.
I'm going with the opposite answer. I'm going with theater by myself because I've done it so much. When this was probably like 10 years ago now, which seems like it was only yesterday, which is like, but anyways, I used to work with a friend of mine, and for anyone who doesn't know, I used to work on indie games. None of them ever released as a 3D artist. And one of them, I also worked as like doing some storyboarding and some basic plot layout. So my buddy was the writer on it, and he also took writing classes in Boston. So he was my ride into work, and on Wednesday nights, he would go into Boston, do his classes, and I didn't want to take public transport home. So I would just go with him into Boston, and I would wander around, like see the sights. And sometimes if it was not great weather, I would just go to the movie theater there. And I would just see a movie by myself. And the first time it was like super weird. I was like, I don't know, man. And then I realized that no one wanted to sit next to me, even in a crowded theater, because I was the weird guy that was like by himself. And there was something very freeing about that, because that means I had all the armrests to myself all the time. Yeah. It was wonderful. Yeah. And after like the third or fourth time, I just like go to the movies now by myself. Like there's so many things like, Mrs. Boost does not like to see Marvel movies, so I have to go by myself the majority of the time. And it's just like nice because I don't have to coordinate with anyone. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to worry about like, oh, I'll get the tickets and you get the snacks. Yeah.
Are they having a fun time?
Yeah, I'm just there with myself in a theater, and like, you know, the movie speaks for itself, and it's part of that like communal experience. So like I saw Endgame that same way. I just went by myself, and like it was very interesting to like. And that one, I was not like armrests away. Like it was packed, like everyone was there. But like being there without having to worry about, does this person like this movie? And then like applause thunders at the end when like Cap finally says Avengers Assemble is just like such an experience. And like I would never have had that if I had went with like a friend or like a coworker or like my wife or anything like that. It was just like really freeing. And I also don't like being the third wheel. I've done it a couple times where I'm just like, this sucks. Because then at some point your friend's just like, hey, leave. And I'm like, but like, you're my ride, man. I don't know how to get home. Or I drove you and I don't feel safe just kind of leaving you. Like, what kind of friend would I be? So those kind of situations.
Man, if anyone had ever given me those vibes, I never picked up on them. So I guess I was just the friend that just stuck around.
Amazing.
Oh, how do you guys like the movie? Are you having a fun time? Well, they're just like making out.
They're just like,
yeah, you want to go? I'm like, oh, do you want to go too? We can all go.
They're just like, no, but fine, I guess. Hey, don't you want to get a snack? That's great. I'll get some for everyone. And they're just like, she's coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 through 10. I'm going to pick number 2. And this is going to be the last one for the night.
Alrighty.
Here we go. It's the same one we just answered. All right, new list.
Okay.
Number 5 is a broken one. Would you rather receive a guaranteed $250? Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yep.
All right, one more time. Would you rather This one's, I don't know if I like this one. No,
You can
no,
change it.
nope. That's a vegetarian one. I'm not doing that one. I say that being like, not like, it's like that, like, how could, like those vegetarians or vegans that are like, how could you eat that? That was a thing, and like really guilt tripped you. It was like, would you rather feel the pain of what you're eating when it died? Or, and I'm like, no, we're not ending on that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Here's a nice bubbly one that has no consequences whatsoever. Would you rather always be 10 minutes late or an hour early?
Oh God. Okay. Here's the thing. I have so very frequently been both of those things.
Okay, yeah.
I have a terrible understanding of time, and I have compensated by trying to arrive early for things and then be like panicked about the fact that the train is not going to run on time or whatever, and I very frequently end up in places an hour early. Okay.
Oh man.
It has happened as recently as like last month, the last time I left my house. So
fair.
I would rather be an hour early than 10 minutes late. I would always rather be an hour early. I think it sucks, but at the same time, you're not late, and obviously being late is worse. And sometimes it's kind of nice. You can like grab a coffee, sit down somewhere, have like a moment to yourself, hang out.
Yeah. I think my answer, if I had been asked this question before I met my wife, it would be a lot different. Before I met her, I was just always 10 minutes late to everything, period. Like our first date, I was like 10 to 15 minutes late. And I was like, by the way, I'm late to everything. And she was like, I'm early to everything. And I was like, I can't be late again. Great. This is it.
Yeah, she waited an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like always early. So she has to be like the first one there. And like, I guess like the joke answer could be like, yeah, I'll be like 10 minutes late and I'll be like cool to the party. And I'm the guy that's always there a little bit late and stuff like that. But ultimately I'm worried about, it's a little more selfish than that. I'm worried about me being bored a lot. So like, I don't like being somewhere and not having something to do, but with my friend technology, I don't have that problem anymore. I can be anywhere and just like throw on something on Netflix real quick or put a game on, or like I have Final Fantasy 9 on my phone. Have I played it yet? Have I played it on the phone yet? No. Is it a good experience? I'm sure it's not. I'm sure they just did a virtual keypad and it works terribly, but it's there if I need it. And that's what's important.
That's crazy, because I remember when I was a kid, I would also end up being an hour early for stuff. And I remember there would be me waiting for like 1 full hour back in the day when no one had a cell phone. You just had to be there at a specific time. And if you weren't there at the specific time, then everything was ruined. And so you just had to go and stand there for an hour staring out into the distance, into the middle distance. That's brutal, man.
I remember going to Disney World as a kid and then going much later in life, and I was in like in my 20s or something like that, and it was just much different, where like as a kid you're waiting in line, it's 3 hours, and when you're a kid 3 hours is really like 3 million years, and you're like, this sucks. And then like in your 20s and you have a smartphone, you're just like, cool, I'll just stand here and wait. It's not a big deal. Throw on a game, watch something real quick, like whatever. It's not, who cares? Like I'm here in line, guaranteed a place, like cool, let's do it. Or books. Keep says she would bring books.
Oh yeah, books are a good option.
Yeah, if I read, that would be a good option.
Do you not read?
For someone who's married to a librarian, reading is not my favorite thing in the world.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's like mostly it's my ADHD that kicks in, where I just can't sit down and concentrate. So I'm gonna try something new. When on Avatar we get to the Kyoshi novels, I have the audiobooks. I'm going to find a digital copy of the book, or maybe go to the library and grab, see if they have it. And I'm going to listen.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah.
I'm going to listen and read at the same time, like I'm in 3rd grade, and see if that helps.
I bet you it will. I used to be like total book elitist in the last rest whole of my life, which was basically like, well, you should read books or whatever. And if you don't read books, then what are you doing? And then I stopped reading books for a long time. And then in the last year or so, I realized that I need to be reading books that are at like a third grade level
Yeah.
in order to like maintain my attention and interest, because I was like I was literally trying to read A Tale of Two Cities, and I couldn't get through a single page. And I was like, what's wrong with my internet-addled brain? I was just like, well, I'm reading old English. So now I'm trying to only read books that are very simple, have a good conversational flow. You know what I mean?
I did the same
and then eventually
thing.
I can build up.
I did the same thing, but with War of the Worlds. And I was like, why can't I pay attention to it? And also, what is the other one? There's some other one. I'm going through my phone right now. I have a books section just in case I ever want to read. I'm trying to find it. Is it in Kindle? There's some other like classic one that I was like, let me try to read this one. And I couldn't. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Have I been looking at screens for too long? I don't remember. I can't find it now. But it was like some classic that was free. And I was like, sure. And then it just like, I couldn't do it. I was like, ugh. Yeah,
I've decided to read Emily Bronte.
Ooh.
Well, actually, I could probably read Emily Bronte, but I don't know. It's just it's tough goings.
Yeah.
Dostoevsky. Let me just rock Dostoevsky on a Wednesday afternoon in between TikTok sessions.
Let me just crack open The Art of War just real quick and
listen. I got 10 minutes. Yeah, I got some time for Art of War.
Oh man. All right. This is the last one for real. It's going to be super quick.
Okay.
And then you're going to bed. You deleted TikTok, so you can't go on TikTok anymore.
It's true. I cannot go on TikTok anymore.
Yes. But the last question is, would you rather come back on in the future on Phone-a-Friend Friday or just make me cry for a month? Month and a half.
Month and a half. That's a lot of crying.
Straight. I will put an IV in my arm so I don't get dehydrated. Wow.
Listen, while I would love to see that happen because it's so unbelievable.
Live on stream.
I would love it. Live on stream. For 1 month straight. You will stream straight with an IV crying.
Tears.
I will. While you eat salt and vinegar chips.
Yes. And tuna.
And tuna, just salt and vinegar chips dipped in tuna. Honestly, I would eat that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, that sounds absolutely delicious.
No. I don't know if I could do that.
That sounds so good.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine? Holy cow. Anyway, an Oreo, but it's salt and vinegar chips with tuna in the middle.
No. I don't know.
Wow.
That tuna.
I'm going to try this.
Try it.
I'm going to try this.
Let me know how it turns out.
And next time I'm on Phone-a-Friend, I'll tell you how it went.
Thank you so much. All right, Mirggles. Thank you so much for forsaking sleep to hang out with us. I super appreciate you. I hope you know that. Of course.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun.
Of course. All right. Bye. Beat it. Get out of my show. All right. There we go. Oh, we got to press this button. This button. Boom. There we go. Awesome. Everyone, we're going to take a quick BRB. When we come back, we're going to play more Biomutant. Are we going to beat it tonight? Who's to say? I don't know. But no one go anywhere except Mirggles because you got to go to sleep. By the way, if you're here right now and you're not following Mirggles, you're doing this whole Twitch internet thing wrong. I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, so there we go. Be right back.